and a very warm welcome to Football This Week. I'm Neha Bhardwaj-Orter, and this is where we give you all the action from the world of football. Euro 2024 has given us a two-day break as we all get ready for the knockout stage, which will begin on the 29th of June, with the quarterfinals scheduled for July 5th and 6th. The semi-finals on July 9th and 10th, and the final to be played on 14th of July in Berlin. Now, it's been 12 days of non-stop action in Euro 2024 and it's reached the knockout phase. The tournament began with 24 teams and 8 of them have been sent packing, while 16 still remain and they will fight to become the kings of the continent. We saw 36 games where the best were tested to their limits. Some showed their class while others failed to impress. We saw new heroes emerge while some superstars disappointed their fans. Let's look back at some of the highs of the Euro 2024 group stage. If we talk about the highs, we've got to begin with Spain. Spain have arguably been the most impressive team in the tournament. They have 3 wins in 3 games, but it's the manner in which they've dominated their opposition in the so-called group of death which has made everyone believe La Roja can go all the way. Spain were the only team to have won all 3 of their games, scoring 5 goals in the process without conceding a single goal. They beat Croatia in their opening game 3-0 comfortably. Their biggest test was against Italy, but they managed to conquer the 2-time European champions as well. In their third game, Luis de la Fuente rested 10 players, but they beat Albania easily, with even the second-string team showing they're better than most nations' first teams. Their games have been exciting to watch, with young Lamine Yamal and Nico Williams impressive in the wings and Rodri brilliant in the midfield. As it stands, it's going to take a super performance to stop Spain. There's no bigger joy than seeing a David versus Goliath fight with a smaller team outplaying a giant. The biggest shock of Euro 2024 was when we saw World Cup debutants Georgia beat Portugal 2-0 to enter the knockout phase of their first major tournament. In front of tens of thousands of raucous Georgian fans, that win was a win not just for Georgia, but for everybody who believes in the idea anyone can win despite the odds. Cristiano Ronaldo was left frustrated as Kvicha Kvaratskhelia put his side in front in 93 seconds, and Georgia were unstoppable from there on. There is so much to love about this Georgian side, from the way they celebrate every block, to the magical footwork of Kvaratskhelia, to the unbreakable wall that is their goalkeeper Georgi Mamardashvili. Let's also not forget George Mikotadze, who is at the moment the highest goal scorer of the tournament. When we talk about Georgia, we have to talk about Quaradona, who stunned his childhood idol Cristiano Ronaldo and Portugal with a goal in the 93rd second of the game. Hailing from the Georgian town of Batumi, the talented Kvaratskhelia comes from a family of footballers. In July 2022, he signed up with Napoli and soon became a household name. He scored 12 goals and assisted 13 times in the 2022-23 season as Napoli went on to win the Serie A title for the first time since 1990, the last time Maradona had played for the club. The Georgian winger, a vastly different player than the Argentine legend in his playing style, was thus given the nickname of Quaradona, a sign of ultimate respect from the adoring Napoli fans. Even though he hasn't been able to replicate his success from last season in the league, he has already made people sit up and take notice of him in this Euros. Austria has emerged as one of the pleasant surprises of the group stage. Austria were not only thrilling to watch, but they backed up those performances with results. Their highly energetic style and the pace pushed some good sides like France and Netherlands to their limits. Their win against the Dutch in the final game was one of the most exciting games of the tournament so far. Ralf Rangnick has been courageous in his hard-pressing style, even if it leaves a few gaps in defense. But with the results that Austria are getting, nobody is complaining. Austria have never progressed beyond the round of 16 at a Euro. But this talented team have got every chance of making history in Germany. Well, we've seen the highs of the group stage. There were some big disappointments as well, from Ronaldo's average performance to Ukraine's heartbreaking loss. Here are the lows of Euro 2024 so far. While we were thrilled by the highs of the Euros, there were some surprising lows in the group stage, and talking about the lows, England's name comes first. They may have won their group. They may have even been lucky in getting an easier draw. But as we look ahead to the knockout phase, even the most ardent England fans would have lost their belief in the Three Lions being the favourites in Germany anymore. Of the 3 games they've played, they've been unwatchable for majority of those games. What makes it even more upsetting for England fans is the squad is oozing with talented players, and yet Gareth Southgate has been unable to get the best out of them. The draw against Slovenia was the tipping point for England's fickle fans, who booed the team and threw bottles in Southgate's direction. England will need to quickly recover and handle the pressure of expectations in the next round if they do not want to come back home early. Before Euro 2024 began, football world was waiting to see superstar Cristiano Ronaldo play for Portugal for possibly one last time in the competition. But after the group stage, the world is divided on whether Ronaldo should have started in all 3 games. At 39 years, even if his fitness is top-notch, many would argue that he shouldn't have started in the game against Georgia. It seemed like a desperate attempt by Roberto Martinez to allow the captain to finally get off the mark. But that gamble didn't work for them, with Ronaldo unable to get on the scorecard, making it the first time that he's failed to score in the group stage of a major tournament. The frustration was there for everyone to see, as he lost his cool on 4 different occasions during that game and even got a yellow card. While Martinez gave Ronaldo another chance, the debate over whether he deserves to start for Portugal has only gotten more intense. Ronaldo had a forgettable World Cup in Qatar, and by looking at his performance in the group stage, he might be headed the same way in the Euros. Belgium has made it to the last 16, but their talismanic striker Romelu Lukaku has been far from impressive. Lukaku has struggled to find the back of the net, and it's become a major issue for Belgium. Even in the draw against Ukraine, Lukaku had 2 shots on goal from 18 touches, making it a total of 6 big chances missed during the tournament. That's twice as many as any other player. The striker has 300 goals at the club level. He is also Belgium's leading goal scorer. But come the crunch games, the perception is that he's unable to finish when it matters the most. It was Lukaku's succession of misses in the draw against Croatia that saw Belgium eliminated in Qatar 2022. Belgium will play France next, and he will have to be at the top of his game if they want to have any chance of beating the title favourites. It was heartbreak for Ukraine, who were eliminated despite getting 4 points in the group stage. Ukraine lost their opening game to Romania 3-0, but registered a brilliant come-from-behind win over Slovakia before playing out a goalless draw with Belgium. Serhii Rebrov's side made a remarkable comeback in the 80th minute against Slovakia to put their campaign back on track. But on the final match day, despite giving a good fight, were left heartbroken on the pitch after they were out due to their goal difference, where every team ended on 4 points. While the players were gutted by the result, they can be very proud of their performance against Belgium and Slovakia. And if it weren't for that 1 hour of poor play against Romania, they would still be in the competition. Okay, let's take you through the schedule of the pre-quarterfinals now. It's Italy versus Switzerland on Saturday on 29th of June. That's at 9:30 p.m. Defending champions Italy will take on Switzerland in the first game. Italy have never been beaten by the Swiss in 11 games that they played against each other. Match number 2 on Sunday, June 30th at 12:30 am. That is the big game between Germany and Denmark. Germany, the hosts, are a stronger team on paper, but Denmark will look back at their memorable win over their opponents in 1992 Euro final to get some inspiration. Match number 3 on Sunday, June 30th, again at 9:30 p.m. That is England versus Slovakia. Can England finally come to the party? They've been insipid, they've been dull, but can they finally do well as is expected of them? They will need to after their form so far. On Monday, July 1st, 2:30 a.m., it's Spain versus Georgia. This is the match that I'm waiting for. The best team of the tournament versus the most loved team, the most exciting team of the tournament in how they've qualified against the odds. It's Spain, the best team, versus Georgia. Nobody gave them a chance, but here they are in the knockouts. Let's look at match number 5. On Monday, July 1st, 9:30 p.m., it's France versus Belgium. So much more was expected from both France and Belgium before the tournament began. Both these teams have very good players, but Belgium are coming out of the shadows of their golden generation. They haven't done as well. We already showed you how Lukaku is struggling, and even the others have not hit form. France too, they haven't dazzled the Euro 2024 so far, but then, in the knockout stages, we know what France can do. Okay, match number 6 on Tuesday, that is 2nd of July at 12:30 a.m. It is Portugal versus Slovenia. Slovenia have shown how they can frustrate an opposition by sitting deep and defending. England know a thing or two about that. It happened with them. But can Portugal create something special for an aging Ronaldo? It's a do-or-die game for them, and they need to win this one. Match number 7 on Tuesday, July 2nd, 9:30 p.m. is also Romania versus Netherlands. Netherlands have only lost once in 30 meetings against Romania, and they should be able to win this one easily. Then match number 8, Wednesday, July the 3rd, 12:30 p.m. is Austria versus Turkey. Austria are turning out to be one of those surprise teams of the Euro, the black horses of this tournament, the dark horses rather, of this tournament. Expect more aggression from Ralf Rangnick's side. He's on his way to redemption in the way he's been receiving praise for how he's put the team together. So expect another exciting game. Let's also take a look at the quarterfinals draw now. The winner of Italy-Switzerland match. The winner of that match will play the winner of England-Slovakia, that particular clash in quarterfinal number 1. So winner of Italy and Switzerland will play winner of England and Slovakia in the first quarterfinal. The second quarterfinal will be played between the winner of the France and Belgium match and the team that emerges the winner from the Portugal-Slovenia game. In the third quarterfinal, the winner from the match between Spain and Georgia will take on the winning team from the Germany-Denmark pre-quarterfinal. In the fourth quarterfinal, the winners of Romania and Netherlands game, they'll be up against the winning side from Austria and Turkey. And between those two games, whoever wins that, they'll be against them to complete the action from the round of last 8. Now, we'll talk about the semi-finals. The first slot in the semi-finals will be, or the finals rather, will be decided with the match between the winning teams from the quarterfinal and quarterfinal 2. That's the first one in the semi-final. The second semi-final will be played between the winners of the third and the fourth quarterfinal. Ironically, now this is interesting, the draw for the knockout games denies a number of top teams an opportunity to play the final. So, look at this. 2 teams from Italy, Switzerland, England to be out before the semi-finals. Think about this. The 2 finalists from the last edition, Italy and England, they are going to be 2 teams from out of these 3. Italy, Switzerland and England are going to be out even before the semis. Then 2 teams from France, Belgium, Portugal to be out before the semis as well. And then 2 teams from Spain, Germany and Denmark to be out before the semis. So if you all are wondering that, hey, can we see Spain and Germany in the final? That's not going to happen. Spain and Germany are going to possibly meet much before that. That's if they win their respective games and then come straight to the semi-final. One of Romania, Turkey, Netherlands and Austria to be in the final, which is also an interesting one. One of Romania, Turkey, Netherlands and Austria to be in the finals. All right, then let's also take a look at how some of the teams are preparing. England were out training on Thursday after finishing top of Group C. The team stumbled through 3 tepid first round games and now face the third place side Slovakia on Sunday in Gelsenkirchen after a wild race to the finish in Group E, where all 4 teams finished on 4 points. Both team and England manager Gareth Southgate, they've faced boos. We've talked about this, and anger from fans after what has been perceived as lackluster performances from them. While England only had 10 attempts on target in the group stage, their defence, considered a weak spot pre-tournament, has become a source of optimism heading into the knockout round. They conceded the fewest expected goals in the group stage. England last played Slovakia in the 2018 World Cup qualifiers when they claimed 2-1 and 1-0 win. Slovakia won 7 and drew 1 and lost 2 of their 10 Euro qualifying games with unbeaten. While unbeaten, England won 6 and drew 2 in a 5-team group.
Teams too focused on that, to be honest. I think we're just appreciative of those that have actually just come and supported the team in general, to be honest. Like I said, I think the camp's very calm camp, quite relaxed and focused camp at the moment. But yeah, I think everyone's just really focused on the next task at hand, to be honest. About the draw, I think everyone's seen in this competition that I don't think there is a favourable side of the draw. You know, every team, every opponent that you come up against is really tough to play against. But I think we just need to remain calm, and I think that's the environment that we've set ourselves. We put pressure on ourselves, but it's a very calm and focused environment, I'd have to say. So we just need to continue focusing on one thing at a time, really.
And earlier, England players took part in a yoga session following a 0-0 draw with Slovenia. England has qualified for the last 16, but like I said, they've been criticised for their lacklustre performance in the group stage. The players were booed by fans, bottles being hurled at their manager Gareth Southgate. And the team's been under tremendous scrutiny since the Euros began, and they decided to take a break from all the outside noise.
Forward reach, so grow the spine out of your waist, and then coming back up again. Press your hands together in that position of grace. Recovery today, we're going to take a little bit of the forest bathing idea. We're going to get outside. We've got beautiful sunshine, clear blue skies. We're going to take some of that sun energy into ourselves, get those rays on our skin, and we're going to use the breath to feel at ease, taking some of that energy.
Denmark will look to invoke the memory of their famous victory over Germany in the Euro 1992 final when they take on the same opponents in the last 16 of this year's tournament. Denmark have not won at Euro 2024 so far, drawing 3 games to set up their clash with the hosts, who have players like young forward Jamal Musiala in sparkling form. However, the odds were similarly stacked against Denmark in Gothenburg in 1992 when they shocked the then world champions Germany with a 2-0 win for their first major title, and Kasper Hjulmand's side are eyeing another upset on Saturday. Denmark reached the semi-finals of the last Euros, losing to England after extra time. This time they've looked a little inhibited, only scoring twice over their 3 group games. However, they have been encouraged by Switzerland taking the game to the Germans in their final group match, which ended 1-1 after Julian Nagelsmann's side scored a stoppage time equaliser to rescue a draw. Their last meeting was a 1-1 draw in a friendly back in June 2021. Well, that's it then on football this week. But before we go, we here at TV9, we love the beautiful game, and in trying to make our viewers love it too, we've started the Indian Tigers and Tigresses Talent Hunt. This is our way of getting young, talented kids, both boys and girls, to showcase their skills and get a wonderful opportunity to train in Germany and Austria. TV9, along with Bundesliga, will organize this talent hunt where European scouts will assess the entries. Here are the details.
To participate in the world's largest football scouting initiative, sign up at www.indiantigersandtigresses.com and verify your email. Fill in all details in this form, including your school and city preferences for round 2. You are 2 steps away from getting a chance to fly to Europe to play. Submit this form and make the registration fee payment. Please use parental guidance at this stage. After the payment, you'll see a screen with your unique code. Note it carefully. Click on the Respo URL to proceed. Enter the same email, create a password, and copy the unique sign-in code. Complete these 5 exercises. Record one on video. Note your answers and upload as a YouTube link. You have completed all steps for participation. Sit back and relax. Selected participants will be contacted over email. A world stage is here. News 9 presents Hunt for the Indian Tigers and Tigresses, the world's biggest football talent hunt, in association with DFB Pokal Bundesliga and partnering with Europe's best. Fly to Europe to compete with the best. Train at India Football Centre, meet international legends and stand proud. Sign up at www.indiantigersandtigresses.com and roar at the World Arena.
$20,000 people dead and counting. What's happening in the United States of America is unprecedented. You will have to pay for this.
How do you fulfill that promise? Because ultimately expectations have to be met. If you look at the political landscape, is it really changing for women? And what is the inability of the forces that dead bodies surface but not the living people?
जानना है तो देखिए, समझना है तो सुनिए, सीखना है तो पूछिए और कमाना है तो खरीदिए। जानकारी, सलाह और निवेश सब एक ही सुपर ऐप पर। पैसे का सवाल है तो जवाब है मनी 9। आजादी पैसे की, अभी डाउनलोड करें।
On the 22nd of June, the death toll in the Kala Kurchichi hooch tragedy had reached 55. As many as 159 other victims were battling for their lives in hospitals. The deaths occurred after the victims, mostly Dalits and others from socially and economically disadvantaged groups, many of them daily wagerers, consumed methanol-infused hooch from a local bootlegger. What is driving Tamil Nadu's illegal alcohol addiction? News 9 Plus decodes. Let us begin by understanding the chronology. The deaths in June 2024 were not an aberration. In 2023, twin hooch tragedy in Tamil Nadu's Villupuram and Chengalpattu districts claimed 22 lives and left 45 others hospitalized. A month after the government claimed that illicit brewing was a thing of past. The biggest problem is that industrial methanol is being diverted to the illicit brewing cottage industry. Another big reason is the easy availability of cheap hooch in the region. Also, the cost of local moonshine is much lower than the price of alcohol in Tamil Nadu State's Marketing Corporation Limited shops. Is selling methanol illegal in Tamil Nadu? The Tamil Nadu Denatured Spirit Methyl Alcohol Varnish Rules 1959 also says that methyl spirit cannot be consumed by humans and regulates it with sales and storage licenses. What are the health effects of ethanol consumption? As the victims of Kalakurchi hooch tragedy experience, methanol, also a form of alcohol, is added to moonshine to increase its strength. Even in moderate quantities, it can lead to liver failure, blindness and death. Which is the law enforcement agency in Tamil Nadu that works to prevent this? The Prohibition Enforcement Wing of Tamil Nadu Police. What is the solution for this problem? Government must crack down on the small-scale industry of illegal brewing in Tamil Nadu. Apart from punitive measures, there must be a state-backed campaign which should be designed to raise awareness about the hazards of illegal brewing. While various governments have shifted the state's position on allowing or banning the brewing of arak, one measure that seemed to have controlled deaths due to hooch after its introduction was the selling of low-cost liquor through Tasman in 2002.
The confidence is certainly back in the market.
Do tighten your seat belt so that you can withstand volatility.
I have one humble request to all the viewers of News 9 is that please don't go, there will be a lot of choppiness, there will be a lot of volatility. Look at long term, don't look at short term. Buy quality, don't buy quantity, and wish you all the very best.
हमारा टाइम आ गया है और रहेगा.
This and more. Streaming on News 9 Plus. News is now content. Subscribe and get free vouchers.
For the very first time in our investigation, we unmasked the killer of Ravindra Matre.
In 5G, we have to stand with the world, and in 6G, we have to lead the world.
Winning a Grammy was an absolutely surreal experience.
How do you fulfill that promise? Because ultimately expectations have to be met. If you look at the political landscape, is it really changing for women? And what is the inability of the forces that dead bodies surface but not the living people?
30,000 people dead and counting. What's happening in the United States of America is unprecedented. You will have to pay for this.
For the very first time in our investigation, we unmasked the killer of Ravindra Matre.
In 5G, we have to stand with the world, and in 6G, we have to lead the world.
Winning a Grammy was an absolutely surreal experience.
Welcome to News 9 Live, and you're watching On Point with me, and let me begin with the first on point. Did Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla switch off mic when the leader of opposition, Rahul Gandhi, wanted to speak on NEET? The heavens opened and the clouds poured the heart out. Yes, Delhi was deluged with water, but I would say Parliament too had a heady day. It had a very strong start on Friday. People thought maybe as the weather settled in Delhi, Parliament too would settle. But that was not to be. Lok Sabha witnessed a spat between the freshly appointed Speaker Om Birla and the newly minted leader of opposition Rahul Gandhi. Congress charged the office of Speaker for getting his mic switched off when Mr. Gandhi wanted to speak on the NEET issue. Let me take you through the sequence of events in Lok Sabha.
सर माइक तो दे दीजिए। माइक मैं बंद नहीं करता हूं, पूर्व में भी आपको व्यवस्था दी थी, यहां कोई बटन नहीं होता। राष्ट्रपति अभिभाषण पर माननीय प्रतिपक्ष के नेता, मेरा विषय है कि आपको दोनों